Hi everyone, so this is just a brief video explaining to you in kind of a step-by-step format how you should be completing the content for this week, and then more specific instructions for your in-class assignment for this week, which is a discussion board post related to the readings and videos I've asked you to view for this week. So how to get there, if you just start on our home course page on Blackboard for SOCI 2301 and click in the course content tab on the left side of the screen here. This should look familiar to you. This is where you've been accessing the assigned readings and videos for the entire semester thus far, so nothing has changed in regards of how we're organizing the content. If you open up the Week 10 folder, which is the topic of toxic masculinity, violence, and mass shootings, that's the content we'll be covering this week. And when you open that up, the first thing you'll see is this little instructional video, which I'm recording right now. So I'll do my best to provide one of these brief instruction videos for each week, just kind of giving you a rundown of the different pieces of assigned content and then the assignment or multiple assignments that you may be asked to do each week. So the first thing you should always do is watch that video, and then I provide links to all of the assigned readings or videos that I'm asking you to view, and again I list them in the order which I would recommend you watch or view them. So the first link this week is just a really short reading from our online textbook discussing the benefits but also some of the costs of masculinity, so a very short reading there just to kind of introduce you to the content. The next thing I'm asking you to view this week is a feature-length documentary film called The Mask You Live In. You will need to log into a Canopy account. Canopy is a video streaming software, and since you are a student at TAMU-CC, you have free access to the Canopy. So if you've never created an account before, you'll have to sign up when prompted using your TAMU-CC email address. If you already have an account, you'll just have to log in, and then you can just search for the film The Mask You Live In. And it's about 90 minutes, just to keep that in mind. The longest thing that you'll have to view or read this week. So it's a really great film that kind of covers a broad spectrum of social problems that are associated with the social construction of masculinity in our society today. So I think it's a good film to watch kind of in place of a typical lecture that we would have had in class where we would discuss a lot of those complex concepts pertaining to masculinity. So a good film for that reason. The next thing I'm asking you to read is just this brief writing titled What We Mean When We Say Toxic Masculinity, just kind of explaining this this concept of toxic masculinity, which is something that has gained a lot more attention, especially in various headlines and media coverage over the past several years. So just kind of explaining from a more academic perspective what we mean with the phrase toxic masculinity. The next reading, I think one of the most important ones, is a sociological explanation for why men in America turn to gun violence. As you'll see, a lot of the content we're viewing this week is unpacking this social problem of violence being associated with masculinity in our society today. So this is a really good brief, again, reading that just kind of explains the complexities of gun violence being associated predominantly with men and masculinity in our society. And then the last thing I'm asking you to view is just a brief video from The Daily Show. And it kind of provides a comedic stance, I guess, or approach towards unpacking the complexities of gun violence in our society, kind of raising the question as to why we have so much resistance and pushback against various laws and legislature that would kind of stricten the gun control in our society and why people push against that. And then also comparing the United States specifically to Australia, which is a country that has very strict gun laws in response to a mass shooting that took place over 2 decades ago now, and as a result has had no mass shootings ever since. So an interesting, again, kind of global perspective to gun violence in comparison to what we experience here in the United States. And then the last thing I'm asking you to do this week, your in-class assignment for this week, is to write a discussion post, or if you'd rather be more creative, either do an audio recording of your responses to these questions, or even recording a video response to these questions. However you'd like to address these questions, either in writing, through an audio recording file or through a video upload, you can do that. So you just have to post your response to these 3 questions after you've had a chance to view the content for this week. So the way you'll do that is by clicking on this discussion group link. And then each of you has been assigned into a particular discussion group. So there's no more than 6 or 7 people in your discussion group, which should make it more manageable for you to actually read and hopefully reply to some of the responses that other members of your group are leaving. So you'll just click on the link for the group that you've been assigned. And here it will show you the members that are in your group. And what you'll want to do is go down here where it says Group Tools, and where it's written in blue Group Discussion Board, go ahead and click on that. And that will take you to the form that is specifically set up for the members of your group. So again, there's only 6 or 7 you in each of your groups, which should make it more manageable for you to be able to read and reply to various posts from others in your group. So from here, what you'll do is, again, just click on this blue link where it will say discussion group, whatever number your group is, and then the topic for this week, which is masculinity and violence. If you click on that, you'll be directed to this page where you'll see this link that says create thread. You'll go ahead and click create thread. And here it shows you again in the description section what questions I want you to address. The subject, you can just give a title to your post, so masculinity post, whatever that may be, your first name if you want to include it in there, doesn't matter. And then here in this message box is just where you would either type up your responses to these questions if you're choosing to engage in writing. However, you could also, like I said, if you'd rather, upload a video. So if you have a YouTube channel, you could record your own video and upload it to your YouTube channel. And then you could copy the URL for the YouTube file here. You could also simply browse your computer and attach either a file for example, an audio file or a movie file, whatever it may be. You can upload those here. So you can just write your responses to the questions if you prefer. However, if you'd rather make an audio file or a video recording and upload that instead, let's get creative here and take advantage of the technology that we have at our disposal. I'm all about it. So once you've written your content here, you would just hit the submit button. I will just do a test here so you can see what this looks like. Alright, so you'll see now that there is a total of 1 post in your group form, and if you click on the thread that I just created here, you can read my test message that I typed in, but here you'd be able to read the content that your classmates wrote, or see the files that they've uploaded for videos or audio files, whatever that case may be. I'm not requiring that you reply to any of your classmates, but of course I would love to see you replying to your classmates, engaging in discussion. So for that reason, posting your initial response to the weekly content sooner rather than later would be helpful, but this is not due until this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. All right. That's it. If you have any questions, of course, send me an email. I'm happy to respond to any questions or concerns you may have, and I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. All right. I hope you enjoyed the content for this week.